to our monthly Facebook live chats with your local Crohn's and Colitis UK network. So on the panel tonight you've got me again, China.
And me, Heather.
Me, Kathy. IBD nurse.
And me, Shaz.
Perfect. Thank you to everyone who came to our recent Meet the Medics event. We really welcome your feedback. Hope you all found it as informative and as valuable as we did. It was lovely to meet some of you guys, and hopefully you had opportunity to chat to all the medics that may have been able to help with your questions, as well as members of the local network and others in kind of your local area. So we have got a couple of questions already for this evening's live chat. So do comment below if you've got any questions, or get chatting amongst yourself. That's what really makes, I think, these chats really special. So don't hesitate and get those going as soon as possible.
And this is the last one of this year, so this is your last. We're not having one in December, so last one of this year. So get your questions in now.
Get your Christmas questions.
Yes. Well, that was difficult, wasn't it?
Yeah, Christmas questions then.
Perfect. Cool.
Abby's online tonight, and she's saying hi, everybody.
Hi, Abby.
One of our first questions is, what does IBD stand for, and what does it cover?
We all turn to the
But
even we can answer that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, Shaz.
Inflammatory bowel disease is what it stands for. And the question came up, I think, because somebody, I think we put something on Facebook, and somebody about Crohn's, and somebody said, I've got ulcerative colitis, does that also apply to me? And we said, yes, it does apply to you as well. And I don't think they realise that inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, covers both ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, and things like diverticulitis. That wasn't bad, was it?
Wow. And microscopic colitis.
Yes.
Which we don't see a lot of. Crohn's colitis. So Crohn's, ulcerative colitis
are the main two,
yeah.
aren't they? Yeah.
And I think a lot of people get confused with IBD and IBS.
Yeah.
You find that a lot.
Massively.
Yeah. So there's a lot of confusion between that. So IBS is a functional disorder, and IBD is a real live illness.
Yes. And IBS, I mean, it's irritable, not inflammatory.
Yes.
Bowel is the same, and then it's syndrome at the end and not disease. So
absolutely.
That's a big difference, isn't it?
People tend to mix it up as well.
They do.
I've had
a
few like inflammatory bowel syndromes.
Yes.
And
I'm always the IBS nurse. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm right in saying that you can help control IBS with diet quite easily.
Things,
that's the most
stress
common
management,
thing.
diet.
Whereas IBD, you can't control
that's right,
the diet.
yeah.
And I suppose there's lots of things that are similar between the two. Like you mentioned stress. But what are in terms of what, in layman terms, I suppose, for me in particular, so I guess. But what is the difference between the S and D? So, how do you, I don't know, if you were unwell and think maybe you have IBS, what would kind of cross you into the boundary of maybe you have
if
IBD
you had IBD and you had IBS as well, or just if you had IBS?
Like, what differentiates the two really from a symptoms point of view?
Oh, from symptoms, it's a difficult one. A lot of the symptoms do overlap. So a lot of people will get diarrhea with IBS, they'll get abdominal pain, they'll even get lethargy, all those types of symptoms that can be worse. No. So you wouldn't get bleeding with IBS, you wouldn't get weight loss, you shouldn't get severe abdominal pain or vomiting. And the other main differences, I suppose, would be blood tests and stool samples would differentiate between the two pretty easily. So should better rule it out pretty quickly. But a lot of people with IBD do get IBS symptoms as well.
Yeah.
It's quite common.
Interesting.
You told me that.
Yeah, I told you that.
You told me that.
From where I'm watching at the moment, I've got a frozen screen, so if anybody can see or hear us, give us a bit of a thumbs up or something, because I can't see. And if we've got any questions coming in, that would be good.
That we're all just...
The screen is black, but I've got a picture on it now.
Is it us?
Abby was saying the screen is black for some reason, hope all is well, but I can actually see the screen. I can see the screen.
Right. Okay. So can people hear us?
If I come off...
Shall we carry on talking?
Yeah, I think so.
One of the questions we've got is, do other people suffer from mood swings? We were debating this earlier on.
They can hear, but the screen is frozen.
Okay. You're going to have to turn off your stream because there's just no internet left. Yes.
Okay.
It's all your fault, Danny.
It's all his fault.
If I turn off, then I can't see any questions coming in.
Yeah,
the
we
chat
need
thing.
to. No, you shouldn't
No.
be able to see
The
it.
Pause.
video's got to be playing to get the...
Yeah.
Facebook design.
Don't worry, guys. We'll go a little bit over at the end just to make
Sorry,
sure we answer all
everybody.
your questions.
Shall we,
Technical
We're
difficulties.
probably better without picture anyway. Some of us.
yeah, we don't like
I'll be happy.
Yeah, I would be very happy.
And you'll be happy.
Yes, I got...
Do you want to talk about the mood swings?
Yes.
I'm getting back to the mood swings.
Good.
Mood swings
Do
are good.
others suffer
Keep it
from
going.
mood swings? If so, do people think their moods are related to medication, the weather, or something else? Over to you, Heather.
Yes, is the answer. Yes, I suffer horrendously with mood swings, to be honest. And I've spoken to Kathy about this in a few appointments as well. And
Maybe don't relate some of the things I said.
well, no, I was going to say that the weather is definitely part of it for me. Especially this time of year, I find, because one day it's blue skies, it might be cold, but it's blue skies, it's bright, and you can kind of, you know, it's a nice day. And then, for instance, today, when it's been cloudy, it was dark by like 4:45. Like, you know, it's dark when you're getting up in the mornings. It does affect your mood.
But is that to do with IBD, or is that completely separate? I mean, is that just, you know, seasonal adjusted, whatever it is?
Sad.
SADS.
Yes. Is it
I
that
don't know what it's called.
as a separate thing?
I don't know. I honestly
I think a
couldn't-
lot of people do get the season adjusted. What is it?
What is it? What is it?
disorder. I don't know.
Disorder, yes.
Is it
It's
disorder?
dramatic, seasonal adjusted
That's
disorder.
very dramatic.
SADS.
Yeah.
I think that is very, very common. Obviously, our people with IBD, I would imagine, not that I am a sufferer, but you know, I can understand people being quite up and down if they're feeling having an awful day, and I mean, it's quite a miserable thing to live with, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that is quite natural that people would feel quite miserable at times, and also steroids, big cause of mood swings. Probably the biggest of all of the medications. I think most of the anti-TNF don't tend to give you mood swings, do they?
No, my mood swings are much better.
But steroids are a real shocker, aren't they?
Right at the end, I found with the steroids. When I went down to like
When you start
10,
reducing
5
them.
milligrams, I was like, ooh. But it's not just that. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say no, but I feel like my family would probably disagree. I think I've always been quite naturally moody, but I think that's fine. And actually, like, surely that's quite human as well. You know, it can be
Exactly, I think it is.
hormones.
I think
it can
it is.
be,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
having to go food shopping sometimes. Like, in all honesty, it's quite a human thing.
Having a Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, is that being female as well? Maybe?
Yeah.
Mm.
Saturday mornings hitting Sainsbury's. It's like, oh.
I think if anything, like for me, I suppose, yeah, tying it to IBD would be the odd times that you do feel a little bit kind of sorry for yourself. And I hate
Yeah.
saying that because
Yeah.
I hate feeling that way in, you know, because you wouldn't wish it on anyone. And like, you know, I do believe that we've been selected because we're strong enough to tackle this. But, you know, I do think that if anything, that's probably notably, you know, the odd occasion you do feel fed up and just, you know,
definitely.
want
It's a
a
hard
break.
thing to live with, isn't
Of
it?
course.
It's when it's
really
one
is.
thing after another as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you're having a really rubbish few days and then something happens, because you can get, you know, lots of things happen, and if you get like a chest infection or something, and you then straight after the chest infection, you know, something
Yeah.
really, really silly, you get a bug, like another bug, and it's
Yeah.
just constant. It just keeps grinding you down, and that
And you're on immunosuppression,
It's-
so
yeah,
that's going
it's-
to increase that likelihood.
it's
isn't it?
okay to have these moments of just like, ooh,
yeah.
why me?
I think that
Because
ties.
everybody's going to get them at
Yeah.
some point, but for different things, you know. Without IBD, everybody has a moment that goes, oh, why me?
Yeah.
If they have like, you know, a cold that lasts a month or something.
Yeah,
they
that's
go,
the thing, isn't it? I mean, the average population, when they get a cold or a viral illness when they're really ill, they feel sorry for themselves. You do, and that's the way it is. But if you've got to contend with a chronic illness and those things, it is going to be much more difficult. And especially if they're happening a lot in the winter when you're on medication, it's going to maybe make that worse.
I was making me think about Annie Johnson.
Yeah,
you know, she was
yeah.
saying recently, she's put it on Facebook, so I know she doesn't mind sharing about it, but she was in hospital.
Poor Annie.
That's right. And she found out she had tonsillitis. And then she came out of hospital. While she was in hospital, they tested her and found that she had glandular fever as well. So she had tonsillitis and glandular fever, and it was this has come about mostly because of the immunosuppressants that she's been on. And she was supposed to be going in for an op, which she couldn't have because of all these other things. But she's now got the op lined up for early December. So good luck, Annie.
Good luck.
Good luck, Annie. Hope you're feeling better. Sorry that I did test you for glandular fever. Sorry I did that blood test.
Well, I might have guessed it was your fault.
Yeah. Sorry, Annie.
She wouldn't have had it otherwise.
Exactly.
I think that ties quite nicely to, obviously, like over the last week or so, the X Factor contestants. So Lloyd Macy's been kind of on Loose Women in the papers talking about how he handles his illness. And, you know, what the way, I suppose for me, it's always been kind of family, friends, kind of a support network. But for him, he found, I suppose, his passion in singing is a great kind of, I suppose, a piece of mindfulness and stress relief.
And relief, isn't it?
So that was one way that he found handling the illness. It's something that really helped him handle his illness. I think it's from a kind of mentality, and I think he was kind of tying it to some physical kind of wellness as well. But I suppose
it's great
that's
to get it out there as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's more awareness that Crohn's exists than it affects young people.
Brilliant.
exactly. I mean, I wonder if you guys ever found anything weird or wonderful that's kind of not medically associated, but have helped you guys.
I think if I started wines, I find wine excellent at all times.
Where is she going?
Oh, she's falling off the
In fact, I have this. And wine not. But and Hannah was saying that, I mean, actually, it'd be great. I mean, I think singing would be a great way to get out, but I think my family would just kick me out the door if I started singing all the time. But I think they definitely would. Heather, Hannah, as I said in the first place, was saying that she finds sewing, because she likes sewing.
Anything therapeutic.
Doing crafty stuff.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah, I do my
crafty
cards.
stuff.
I do my cards, but also I'm part of a theatre group, and we do a lot of singing and dancing and all that. I'm still doing grades and things with my dancing. So yeah, it's just finding that little thing that you really, really like. Whether that's just taking your dog for a walk for half an hour, you know, and
Lindsay
that
trains
can
puppies.
really, really help.
Lindsay trains puppies, she's over there. She trains police dogs.
Oh,
Well, that's just not any old puppy.
I know! It's not like our little naughty puppies. These are proper, well-trained puppies. Our naughty puppies.
But I think in terms of like that I think mindfulness generally is like a huge trend. Like even not with other people with IBD, just generally in the world, like mindfulness and things like that have like grown so much in popularity. And there's some great little apps you can get and things, just to take like 5 minutes out of your day and stuff. I always try and make a promise to myself to stick one out for a couple months or so. But life just takes over. But I really think that's something that I should really, I would really value from actually committing to a little bit better. Because 5 minutes out of your day, gosh, we can all manage that, can't we? When you start on the loo, probably.
That's about right.
But yeah,
that was a thought we didn't really need.
Do you know what I mean? We all have that fun. All right, yeah.
You never know. There might be people here watching whilst they're
That's true.
It is. But no, I mean, if you guys have got any, found any other ways, like definitely get sharing those.
Yeah.
Because we would love to hear all about those.
Yeah, stress relievers.
We're still very jumpy.
That's all right.
We've got another one.
Yes.
Nice long spa.
What's the difference between a colostomy and an ileostomy?
Ileostomy? I thought it was an ileostomy.
Ileostomy.
Oh, I've been pronouncing it wrong all this time.
But it's like Humira and Humira, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Tomato and
It's-
tomato.
yeah.
Well, it's a very simple difference. Colostomy comes from the colon, the large bowel, and ileostomy comes from the ileum, or ileum, the small bowel.
See, it's called the ileum, isn't it?
Ileum.
Why
I
is
call
it?
it the ileum because I'm posh.
Oh, I see. Oh, that was explains the difference.
That's right, it's Humira,
Because she's posh.
So much for her.
Yeah, so the colostomy they'll take a piece of bowel from the colon, and it'll be, I don't want to go into too much detail because people might be having their dinner. It'll
Stop eating your dinner
it'll be
and listen to Kathy.
formed
Stools.
stool, and on the whole, and an ileostomy will be a piece of the ileum, and it will be small bowel contents, so it will be very, very runny, watery.
Right, I know I should know this. In the body, what one
That's where it
comes
is.
first?
The small.
So the small comes first.
The small bowel comes
Well, it
first.
depends which way you go.
Because the large bowel takes.
Only you would say
Coming
that.
If you're going in from the other end, the
you're going
big one
from
comes
this end,
first, okay?
The large bowel
Most people
takes out all the water.
Okay. I would be very interested, right, I'm just ignoring
This is
you.
all going a little bit wrong.
I'd be really interested to know, like, the part, this might be really silly, but I've been diagnosed, over 10 years now.
Yes.
How, from here, where do what order do things happen
Would you like me to draw you a picture?
Yeah. And that's something very silly.
Picture that I put on, I posted the other day that came, I think
Yes.
it was Frozen Colitis UK, and it was a
That-
really good
it was
picture.
on
there.
I'll post it again because it's a really good one. It
Okay, cool.
describes it.
So the ileostomy, would that be taken from higher up?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Right.
So you've got your gullet, your stomach, and you've got your small intestine, your ileum, and then you go large bowel, colostomy.
Right. Does that explain what side you may have it?
Yes, on the whole it does. Yes.
So wrong. Okay.
What happens if you don't have one? Like an ileum, I mean. If the ileum's been taken out.
Oh, you wouldn't have an ileostomy.
It would have to be a colostomy? Or would it just be a stoma?
It would. It's getting complicated. You wouldn't ever have all of your small bowel removed.
No.
But if you'd had a fair bit of your small bowel removed, you can still have an ileostomy because the ileum's really, really long.
Okay.
So you can have an ileostomy and have part of your small bowel resected. You wouldn't, on the whole, have all of your small bowel out and then a stoma because that would be, it would just be going through too quick.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be, you wouldn't be sustainable with
Okay.
life. So, but
Because
But
I
on the
remember,
whole,
because
yeah.
the small bowel is where it's all liquid and you
That's
take all your
right.
nutrients and stuff
Yes,
out,
yeah.
and then when it goes into the large bowel, that's when the water
That's
gets
right,
taken
yeah.
out,
So
and that's when you end up with solid stools, and that's what you poo out at the end of the day.
yeah, and that's
You wouldn't have anything to. That's why if you lose your large bowel, you haven't got any solid stuff to poo out anymore.
I understand.
Because that's the bit
Yeah.
where it makes it solid,
And all the water stays.
and all the,
Yes.
the water stays
Yeah.
in as it is still in the small bowel.
And is stoma the name for a general collective name, or is a stoma the name? Where's the word stoma come from? What is a
It's
stoma?
Greek, but I can't tell you what it's from. I did know that
Okay.
once. It's gone from my mind.
That's all right.
Tune in next time, she might know.
Stomatitis or something. I
Okay.
don't know.
And what is that the name of?
It just means a.
That's the thing.
That's
yeah.
the bit where
So
the
whether you've got an
hole is.
ileostomy or a colostomy, that is a stoma. Yeah,
Right.
and you can get other stomas, but on the whole, it would be ileostomy.
Okay.
Cool.
It's the generic term for stoma.
Fascinating.
A wealth of knowledge there in the middle.
I'll find out the Greek name.
Greek.
You might
You
have it
did
tattooed
Greek
or
now?
something.
Yeah.
Is it genitive stomatos?
Thanks,
Stomatos?
Todd.
Is it tomatoes or stomatos? I don't know.
It's not tomatoes because they don't go very well when you're having a flare up. They're tomatoes, not really-
Genitostomatus.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Oh,
See, we've all had
oh
some.
yeah.
He'll be on front of camera soon.
Well,
No, I won't.
We're teaching everybody a bit of Greek, aren't we? Good.
glad we cleared that up.
Thankfully.
We need to also. I wanted to give a shout out to Tom, who's. If you've ever followed the Chronic Adventurer, if you're following anything on Crohn's and colitis, Tom actually works in our head office, but he does a lot of stuff for Crohn's and colitis. He works really hard, a lot of volunteering stuff as well. And he's in hospital as well at the moment. He's been very, very poorly.
Oh.
So I wanted to give a shout out for Tom and hope you're feeling better soon, Tom. And
Yeah,
you're
thanks.
back on the
Hello,
road.
Tom.
He's had a rough time of it recently,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
yes, yeah. He's been in and out a few
But don't
times.
we often find that when you start having a rough time, it takes a while
Yeah.
to actually, for things to
To go
start
on
to,
for some time, can't it?
It's
Yeah.
not usually
Sorry.
allergic to Shaz's house now.
It's the Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
They're out far too early.
It's her hat.
Say it's my
It could
hat.
be.
I wasn't
Sorry,
that
that's
I was
my-
given this hat.
You were forced to wear it.
To be fair, I drugged it out of the loft about an hour ago. So.
I've got all loft contents in my hair now.
I suppose on the theme of Christmas means that there's an important week coming up
Yes.
as we enter
Yes.
December
Yes.
that we might want to share with everybody.
Yes. The 1st to the 7th. Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week, 1st to the 7th of December. And on the 1st of December, actually, as a separate thing to Crohn's and Colitis Awareness Week, but what a great start to the week, some of us will be in Tavistock, outside Karen's restaurant, selling mince pies and mulled wine.
Has Karen made them?
Yes.
Yes.
Karen
Well done, Karen.
alcoholic mulled wine. We were there, last year there was another lot and they were selling mulled wine that didn't have any alcohol in it, and people were coming along going, why we
Why
bought
would
this
they buy
mulled
that
wine and there was no alcohol in it. Has yours got alcohol in? Yes it has. Yes, I'll have two. But it was really, really nice. It was absolutely delicious.
That's you.
And then
Yeah.
that's just me. When I need
Be
to.
honest.
No, it was
the
really
1st
lovely.
to the 7th.
And that's that's on the 1st, and it starts at 4 and goes on till 9 or 10, or whenever we pack up, or whenever we
Sell
run
out
out.
of mulled wine.
Yes, that's right. So that's on the 1st. And another thing that's on the 1st that we didn't organise, but a guy called Ian Softcott has organised, well, I think it's organised in their local church, is a quiz evening, which I think is St Michael's Church, if I remember rightly, and that starts at 7. So go along to St Michael's Church. And that, again, we're advertising that on Facebook, so look out on Facebook. So you can go along for a quiz there. And that one you can take your own nibbles and wine. So there you go. What's wrong with that? So that's both on the 1st.
2 bottles.
And then for the whole week, if you want to do anything, any activities, if like you want to get everybody to wear something purple to work one day and get them all to donate £1 or £2 or something like that, that'd be great. We can raise money for Crohn's and Colitis.
Do you come to the hospital? Are you having a stand?
We haven't got a stand. I don't know if it's too late to organise one now.
Yeah.
We can have a look and see if we can do something. But there are packs available as well. So that at the moment you can ask for a pack, and they'll give you, in the pack you have things like this, which is pick your purple
And quiz it purple.
and a quiz. Yes.
And you get
And you get balloons.
Yeah. Raffle tickets.
Raffle ticket.
Exactly. So if you guys, even if it's, even a night in with some friends, and we'd be really grateful for any kind of positive awareness, or if you want to give it a go, any of these activities. If you can't get hold of a pack, we can probably post a link for where you can kind of grab a package. But if not, get in touch with us, and we can share some of these bits and pieces with you to help you get involved and contribute, I suppose.
Yeah.
And let us know what you're getting up to. So any pictures of bake sales,
Yes.
You can put it on our
your friends-
Facebook,
exactly.
Instagram, Twitter.
Yes.
Let's go purple.
Exactly,
in
yeah.
December.
So let us know, we can help kind of advertise anything for you,
Yeah.
but equally celebrate it once you have kind of contributed. So we'd be really, really grateful for that. So do let us know what you're getting up to during that period, the 1st to the 7th.
Yes,
Is that
1st
right?
to the 7th.
Yes,
Yes.
the 7th. And then of course
Not
there's
long.
the raffle. No. Not
The
long at
raffle?
all.
The raffle. If you haven't had raffle tickets
The raffle.
already, just let us know, because we've still got some spare ones.
There's not a lot of time left.
I think they've got to be in by the 8th of December.
It's written on the raffle ticket.
Yes,
like
I think it's the 8th of December. So
Yeah.
you have to be sent in by the 8th of December. The draw, I think, is a few days after that, but they have to be sent in by the 8th. So you have got a little bit of time still, and we do have spare tickets still. So
Good prizes too.
Yeah,
Good prizes.
£1,000.
Very
good
impressive.
Top prize.
Very
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. Think of the wine you could buy them.
Shaz and her one-track mind.
Yes.
As if the theme for
John
tonight,
has
that's all.
just written in, stoma is Greek for mouth or opening.
Oh, thank you, John.
That's
There
That's
excellent.
there we go.
Answers it
She's
all.
happy
I
now.
knew it was Greek. I thought that was a good effort. Yeah.
I think if we can set a target, a fundraising target for next year, Kathy should have that tattooed.